Level 1, Viral Train Wrecks. We're starting with Christopher Eubanks, and I know what you're thinking. Wait, didn't this guy make Wimbledon quarterfinals? Yeah, he did, and that's exactly what makes this so painful to watch. This man is 6 feet 7 inches with a serve that can hit 140 miles per hour, and somehow he still makes tennis look like the hardest sport on the planet. Watching Eubanks play is like watching someone try to drive a Ferrari, but they keep stalling at every red light. The Wimbledon run? Pure chaos that somehow worked. He was shanking balls, double faulting at crucial moments, and moving around the court like a newborn giraffe learning to walk. But the grass was bouncing weird, his opponents were having off days, and suddenly everyone thought he figured it out. Then reality hit. He went right back to losing first rounds and looking completely lost the moment someone made him move more than 3 steps. His ground strokes look like he's playing cricket. His movement makes you wonder if he's ever seen a tennis court before, and don't even get me started on his return game. You watch Eubanks and you realize that being tall and hitting the ball hard isn't a tennis strategy. This man has all the physical gifts in the world and somehow still makes the sport look impossible. Level 2, Celebrity Dabblers. Level 2 is Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, and this guy is tennis's biggest mystery. One day he's in a Masters final looking like the next Spanish superstar. The next day he's attempting underhand serves at Wimbledon like he's trolling the entire sport. Davidovich Fokina is what happens when you have legitimate talent, but the decision-making skills of someone who learned tennis from TikTok. The man reached Monte Carlo finals, beat top 10 players, has incredible shot-making ability, and then he'll do something so stupid it makes you question if he actually understands tennis. His forehand can paint lines, and his movement is actually elite. But then he'll completely abandon his game plan mid-match for no reason. He'll be winning with smart, consistent tennis, then suddenly decide he wants to hit every ball as hard as humanly possible. The underhand serve attempt at Wimbledon perfectly sums up Level 2. It wasn't strategy, it wasn't tactics. It was a guy with real skills, making choices that belong in a highlight reel for all the wrong reasons. Unlike Level 1, Davidovich Fokina can actually play tennis. The problem is, he keeps forgetting that he can play tennis. You watch him and think, this guy could be top 20, and then 5 minutes later, you're wondering if he's having some kind of breakdown. He's good enough to beat anyone, just not smart enough to do it consistently. If you are loving this video, please click the hype button on your mobile screen and help us to reach out to more tennis fans. Done? Let's continue. Level 3, Relentless Grinders. Now we're in the professional ranks and suddenly everything changes. Roberto Bautista Agut, Pablo Carreño Busta, Gilles Simon, Cam Norrie, Diego Schwartzman, Elise Mertens, Karen Khachanov. These names might not get your heart racing, but they should get your respect. Here's what separates Level 3 from everything below it. They're technically sound in every aspect of the game. Their serves might not break 130 miles per hour, but they're consistent and well placed. Their ground strokes aren't going to blow you off the court, but they're deep, heavy, and relentless. They understand patterns, they know how to construct points, and they make you earn every single game. Roberto Bautista Agut is the perfect example of this level. The man reached the Wimbledon semifinals in 2019. That's not a fluke, that's elite tennis. But ask a casual fan to name their favorite Bautista Agut moment, and they'll stare at you like you're speaking a foreign language. He doesn't have signature shots or memorable celebrations. He just plays tennis at an incredibly high level, day in and day out. And that's exactly why casual fans don't appreciate this level. In an era of highlight reel tennis, where everyone wants to see 140 miles per hour serves and inside-out forehands that paint the lines, these players offer something different. They offer chess, not checkers. Diego Schwartzman, at 5 feet 7 inches, has no business competing with giants like Zverev and Medvedev, but he's been a consistent top 20 player for years. How? By being absolutely perfect at the fundamentals. His return position, his court coverage, his ability to redirect pace, it's all textbook. You'll see these players in Week 1 Grand Slam coverage constantly, and many of them have gone plenty deep in majors. But they're not built on myth or mystique. They're built on the relentless pursuit of marginal gains. They're the definition of professional tennis players. Level 4, Box Office Wildcards. Now we're getting to the fun stuff. Nick Kyrgios, Gael Monfils, Fabio Fognini, Caroline Garcia, Jelena Ostapenko. On the right night, they look like they've hacked the tennis matrix. Tweeners from impossible angles, circus defense that defies physics, winners that make you question everything you know about the sport. The next match, complete walkabouts, racket carnage, and focus that's gone with the wind. Nick Kyrgios is the poster child for this level, and honestly, he might be the most talented player never to win a Grand Slam. The man has beaten Djokovic multiple times, including at Acapulco in 2017. The talent is undeniable. It's the consistency and professionalism that's missing. One day he's serving underhand at Wimbledon and arguing with fans. The next day he's hitting serves that even Djokovic can't touch. Gael Monfils might be the most entertaining player in tennis history. The man turns tennis matches into performance art. His defense is legendary. He'll slide into shots that should be impossible to reach, then somehow turn them into offensive weapons. But for every moment of brilliance, there's a stretch where he looks completely disinterested. Fabio Fognini on clay is a different species. The shot making, the angles, the creativity. It's like watching Picasso paint with a tennis racket. He's beaten Nadal on clay, which should be illegal, but then he'll get defaulted from a tournament for arguing with an umpire, or he'll lose his mind in the middle of a match he should be winning easily. What makes level 4 so compelling is the unpredictability. They fill arenas because literally anything can happen. They'll detonate a top seed in round 2 with tennis that looks like it came from the future, then vanish in round 3 against someone they should beat in their sleep. Level 5, Gatekeepers of Greatness. Everyone from this level on can legitimately play tennis at the highest level. Andrei Rublev, 2 Masters 1000 titles, Monte Carlo 2023, and Madrid 2024. The man hits forehands like guided missiles and has been a consistent top 10 player for years. Stefanos Tsitsipas, 2 Grand Slam finals, Roland Garros 2021, and Australian Open 2023. Still hunting for that first major breakthrough. Jessica Pegula, Maria Sakkari, Taylor Fritz, Holger Rune, Felix Auger-Aliassime. These players have everything you need to win at the highest level. Power, check fitness, check tactics, check mental toughness. Well, that's where it gets complicated. What separates level 5 from level 6 isn't talent. It's what happens when the pressure reaches its absolute peak. It's what happens in the second week of Grand Slams when the air gets thin and your hands start to feel heavy. It's what happens when you're 2 sets up in a major final and you can taste history. Andrei Rublev is the perfect example of this phenomenon. The guy can blow anyone off the court when he's feeling it. His forehand is one of the most devastating shots in tennis. He's beaten Djokovic, he's beaten Medvedev, he's beaten everyone. But put him in a Grand Slam quarterfinal and something changes. The shots that were landing on the lines in earlier rounds start missing by inches. The confidence that carried him through the first week starts to waver. Stefanos Tsitsipas has been in 2 Grand Slam finals, which means he's proven he can handle the pressure better than 99% of professional tennis players. But in both finals, against Djokovic at Roland Garros and against Djokovic at the Australian Open, he couldn't quite get over the line. The talent was there, the preparation was there, but that final step to greatness remained just out of reach. The cruel irony of level 5 is that these players are closer to greatness than 99.9% of people who've ever picked up a tennis racket. But that final gap might as well be the Grand Canyon. If you are loving this video, subscribe to our channel and help us reach 5,000 subs by month's end. Level 6, Era Definers. These are the players who've already proven they can handle the ultimate pressure and deliver when everything is on the line. Carlos Alcaraz, US Open 2022, Wimbledon 2023, Roland Garros 2024, all before turning 22. The kid isn't just winning Grand Slams, he's doing it with a style and flair that reminds you why you fell in love with tennis in the first place. Jannik Sinner, Australian Open 2024, and his precision power combination is redefining what modern tennis looks like. Daniil Medvedev, US Open 2021 champion, former world number 1, and the man who ended Djokovic's calendar Grand Slam dream. Iga Świątek, multiple Roland Garros titles, former and current world number 1. And when she's on clay, she's virtually unbeatable. Aryna Sabalenka, back-to-back Australian Open champion in 2023 and 2024, with a power game that can overwhelm anyone. Then you have the established legends of this level: Andy Murray, Stan Wawrinka, Naomi Osaka, Simona Halep. Andy Murray deserves special mention here. 3 Grand Slams, 2 Olympic golds, year-end number. 1 in 2016, an all-time great who had the misfortune of playing in the same era as 3 of the greatest players in tennis history. Stan Wawrinka is another perfect example of level 6 greatness. 3 Grand Slams, all won by beating members of the Big 3 in the final. When Wawrinka was locked in, his backhand was the most devastating shot in tennis. The problem was getting him locked in consistently. At their peak, these players are virtually unplayable. The resume is Hall of Fame strong. They've won the biggest tournaments, beaten the best players, and proven they can handle the pressure that breaks most people. What separates level 6 from level 7 isn't talent or achievement in the traditional sense. It's sustained dominance over multiple years and multiple surfaces. It's the ability to not just win Grand Slams, but to make winning them look routine. Level 7, the Immortals. This is a different plane of existence entirely. We're talking about 4 players who didn't just play tennis. They redefined what was possible with a tennis racket. Novak Djokovic, 24 Grand Slams and counting, record holder for most weeks at world number 1 and the most complete player in tennis history. Djokovic didn't just win on every surface, he dominated on every surface. His return game turned the biggest serves into routine shots. His mental toughness in crucial moments is unmatched in any sport. The man saved match points in Grand Slam finals and turned them into victories. That's not luck, that's level 7 mastery. Rafael Nadal, 22 Grand Slams, 14 of them at Roland Garros, which might be the most dominant record in all of sports. Nadal didn't just play on clay, he owned it. His 81 match winning streak on clay is the stuff of legend. But here's what casual fans miss. Nadal won Grand Slams on every surface. Wimbledon 2008 might be the greatest tennis match ever played, and Nadal won it in near darkness against Federer. Roger Federer, 20 Grand Slams, 8 Wimbledon titles, and he made tennis look like art. Federer's one-handed backhand, his effortless movement, his ability to make impossible shots look routine. He turned tennis into ballet. For over a decade, Federer was the standard by which every other player was measured. His 2017 Australian Open comeback at age 35 proved that class is permanent. Serena Williams, 23 Grand Slams, and era-defining dominance with a career spanning over 2 decades. Serena didn't just overpower opponents, she intimidated them before they even stepped on court. Her serve remains the greatest weapon in tennis history. She won the 2017 Australian Open while pregnant. Think about that for a second. That's not human, that's level 7. These 4 players created moments that transcended tennis. Federer crying after losing to Nadal at the 2009 Australian Open. Djokovic's impossible flexibility in court coverage. Nadal's warrior mentality that never accepted defeat. Serena's dominance that redefined what was possible in women's sports. In 100 years, when the history of this sport is written, these 4 names will be the first chapter. This is timeless excellence, unchallenged by any critic or detractor. This is tennis immortality.